Hello, welcome to Genevora's Running Commentary 56. In 55, I talked about flexibility and how important it is to have a technique that is flexible, where you can approach anything from many different ways, that you don't have one idea of how to produce a sound. One of the ways that we've found that we can encourage that flexibility and train it is by cross-training, by learning different techniques, different styles, different genres. In this section, I want to talk about what happens when we don't get it quite right. In my rehabilitation work, I often have clients who have hit a brick wall. They've come to a point where their voice just doesn't work at all, either cuts out at a particular pitch range or maybe stops working altogether. And there's often not a really obvious reason for this, because their technique has been fantastic, has been really good. They've been able to do whatever they want. They've had a really successful career very often. And when we kind of find out a bit more, we uncover a bit more, we dig down a bit deeper, I find that that technique has served them very, very well in very specific circumstances. So if everything is going a particular way, if everything's going how they want it to, if the repertoire is learned in exactly one way, then it works. It's reliable. It's fine. When it stops working is when something changes, or a number of things change a tiny bit, knocks them off balance, and that reliable technique is suddenly not working. And it's a dramatic end. It's a stop. Why would it stop so dramatically? Now, one of my clients described it as like having a toddler tantrum. She said her voice just completely gave up and threw all the toys out of the pram and stopped working completely. And I thought the toddler tantrum is brilliant, because why do toddlers behave like that? Because they haven't learned how to be flexible yet. They have one fixed idea, that goes wrong, and then it's a catastrophe and there's a meltdown. And how do we deal with that when we are working with a toddler, with a young person, or even an older person who's had that meltdown? We have to go very carefully, we have to negotiate, we have to explain. We can't go in and say you are wrong and I am right. It's a much more subtle process of conversation with the person, of working out what's happening, and if possible, getting them to work out what has gone wrong, to get them to work out where things could have been different. So getting this flexibility in technique, flexibility in attitude, flexibility in how we would like things to work, is partly about learning lots of different ways to open a door, lots of different ways to come at something, but also about learning to have those conversations when things go wrong, when things aren't working. And if the thing that has the meltdown is something subconscious in your brain, then we can start having a gentle conversation of realignment, reworking, rethinking, feeling things from a different way, coming at it gently, carefully, kindly, and we can get there.